your ball in the trees and then you lip out the putt. But if you've got a little time, then come and spend it with us. 'Cause now you're listening to the Rough Cut.
Hello, and welcome down to another episode of the Rough Cut Golf podcast. And we have a full house today of Michael, myself, Kieran, and Jacob. And it's a full episode. We have so much to speak about. We have the TGL final, which is completed. We have a chef who won on the PGA Tour. We've got Scotty or Tiger, who is the best out of those two. Like, we're even having this conversation. LIV has announced their version of the Creator Classic, and we are rounding up with our major picks for 2025, revealing finally who is going to be the champion before it even happens, so you might not even have to watch the majors because we're already predicting the future.
Well, one of 16 people is going to win each of those majors.
Maybe not. I do need to remember to breathe. And also, what we're going to do before this podcast, I would like to speak about our good friends at NordVPN. So NordVPN have sponsored the podcast for the last 4 episodes, and I am very grateful to have them here. I have been using NordVPN for quite some time now, mostly when I'm abroad, when we're traveling, actually being able to access the content that I want to in any country that I go. So, for example, like TV shows and apps that I use in the UK, I can use when I'm in Dubai or elsewhere. It is very, very useful. The fact that I've got a barrier of security between me and the evil people on the internet as well.
They are out there.
Yeah, they're all over. I can sense them on the modem.
Yeah,
People
but
still use modems.
they don't get. Oh, actually, I don't know. But they don't get anywhere near you when you got NordVPN.
No, they don't. They're flying through the wireless air, but they're buffeted by the shield of NordVPN.
That's them. That's them releasing you from your stress.
If you want to take advantage of a special offer that we have here on the Rough Cut Golf podcast as well, if you head over to nordvpn.com/roughcut, you can get 4 months free on a 24-month package. We all are using it. We highly recommend them. So please, if you are interested, go check them out.
And it's really cheap. It's really, really cheap. Like,
cup of coffee cheap.
For the cost of your Lucozade and your Kit Kat Chunky in the clubhouse, you could protect yourself online.
Cool. I would like to say the NordVPN or the Rough Cut Golf podcast do not endorse eating chocolate or fizzy drinks. We do endorse coffee, though. Or tea.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Get NordVPN. All the information is in the description. On with the show. So I cannot believe that this actually even came up. Bubba Watson said something absolutely ridiculous this week. I think it's ridiculous. Based on the stats, it even appears to be ridiculous. What did he say?
He basically said the Scotty Scheffler's year last year was better than Tiger Woods' 2000 season. Now, in all fairness to Bubba Watson, like, I don't know if he had a concussion or not. So there is that. We do need to, be aware there might be a medical underlying brain injury. Yeah. But in all fairness, like, I can see where he's coming from by respects that Scotty's year last year was like literally one of the most dominant that we've seen since the Tiger era. The thing that sways it a little bit is the fact that it's 1 year where Scotty's played unbelievable golf, whereas Tiger had a whole generation of dominating golf. You've got a player who literally changed the face of the game, and you've got Scotty, who's a fantastic golfer, probably the most dominant since Tiger, certainly last year, but he doesn't have the same aura. He doesn't have the same world-changing vibe that Tiger does, which is obviously an issue when you're discussing merits. But results-wise, Scotty was pretty elite last year.
He was elite, and I mean, let's play devil's advocate just for a moment and sort of see where Bubba's coming from here. You could argue and say that the caliber and the quality of golf and the amount of good golfers that are playing compared to when Tiger did his is higher. He's competing at a level that he needs to raise, whereas Bubba's saying that raise higher than that 2000 Tiger because of the fact that he's playing against so many good golfers, not to diminish those that Tiger was playing against.
I mean, there were some big boys back there.
There were some big boys back there, absolutely. The thing...
Not really? You don't think so?
No. They were big boys, but like a little table.
On that, like, Jake's got a good point, but it's more the fact that when Tiger came into the game, the reason he had such the impact that he did is because he was unlike anybody else that was playing. You know, his athleticism, the fact that he drove the ball a million miles, the fact that he was such a dominating presence, the fact that he was on tour and he instantly pretty much steamrolled the competition. You know, we all know the kind of Curtis Strange interview. You know, but that was your type of pro, Curtis Strange, on the PGA Tour.
That was the type of person who was winning events.
Yeah, like if you contrast like two of the best players at that time, if you say, I don't know, Colin Montgomery and Tiger Woods, they're kind of different as far as the way they approach golf.
One of them hasn't won any majors.
No.
Well, seniors majors.
Do they
Do you want
count?
to show some respect? Do you want to put some respect on Colin's name?
Sorry, Podrick.
My friend. So yeah, I mean, when you compare it like that, you could say, you know, Scotty is facing a deeper field week on week, despite the LIV split, because we all know that that's where most of the best players in the world play.
Yeah, obviously, yeah. I mean, you even when you break down and you start actually looking at the things that he won, I'm talking Tiger in that time frame. You know, that's the part that, to me, when you just kind of lay it out and you realise exactly what he came away with in that 2000 year, it's hard to say past that. Like, I know Scotty got a major himself, but how many was it for Tiger? It was three majors.
I mean,
I didn't know that.
What I'll do is I'll blast through Tiger's results in that year, not mentioning the tournament unless it's like a big one.
Okay.
So he finished first, second, 18th, second, first, second at the Players, fifth at the Masters, fourth, first at the US Open, 23rd at the Advil Western Open, which we all couldn't account is one of the best tournaments in the world.
Yeah, huge struggle.
First at the Open Championship, 11th, first at the PGA, first, third, second at the Tour Championship, and then tied fifth at the American Express at the end of the year when he was just chilling.
Did he then go on to win the Masters
Yeah.
the year after as well?
Yeah.
So is that? It doesn't feel like
No,
a
it
fair
was-
comparison, really.
It was the Tiger Slam. Now, in fairness, we'll go through Scotty's year. 5th, 17th, 6th, 3rd, 10th, first at the Players, second, first at the Masters, first, 8th, second, first, tied 41th at the US Open, loser.
Wow.
First,
That's a playoff, I think.
first with the playoff,
Yeah.
Travelers Champ, and 7th at the Open, 4th, 33rd, first at the Tour Champs, and first at the Hero at the end. So, I mean,
he won a lot of
listen,
events.
He did, yeah,
It's
yeah.
very impressive.
and the amount of money that Scotty earned, oh my God.
I'd
Seriously.
love to see a year-to-year comparison of the money.
It would be interesting, yeah.
Like how much is Tiger's earnings worth in today's money? Like,
Well, look at like
Like he could definitely post bail for all that.
oh
Yeah.
wow, so could Scotty.
yeah.
Both been in trouble with the law.
So I mean, listen, I get it, and the fact that like stats wise, ball striking wise, Scotty last year was on par with Tiger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So and the year before, in fact, he was on par with Tiger as well. He just putted like an idiot.
Yeah.
To put it nicely. And last year he finally found something on the green. So you can understand. But unless Scotty shows the type of year in, year out dominance that Tiger did, all you can say is that he's had an amazing few years. He's a fantastic golfer. But like to approach that level of dominance Tiger had is near on impossible, I think.
It's kind of a very similar thing of like, you know, comparing Haaland to like a Messi in terms of like, obviously he's had a couple of great seasons, but Tiger did it for years and years and years. Is he going to keep up with this kind of thing? So it's kind of that sort of comparison. isn't
Like
it?
a time will tell.
Yeah, definitely. Exactly. Yeah.
So do we think it's the worst take ever?
Not the worst take. Not the worst take.
Very brave, though.
It's a brave take.
It's not the worst take. I think it's adjacent to that, but I don't think it's like the worst take. There are worse takes.
Yeah.
Like your take last year, Mick, about Rory needing to take like a year out of the game to.
Why are we bringing this up again?
that was the worst one.
Just as we come into the major picks, we're
Yeah.
all talking about how Mick said he should take a year off.
So I think that was up there. But no, listen, Bubba, I can't be honest. I literally forgot where Bubba was playing. That's the first thing I've heard from him for about a year.
Which is kind of my is he just trying to remind everyone that he is alive?
I don't know. I think the range goes have probably got like a merch drop, coming or
Right,
something,
sure.
which is why he's swinging in there. But yeah, like I think there's quite a few. Obviously, it's where attention is and is what we see on social and who's winning and all the rest of it. But there are quite a few players who have gone to LIV who are in that kind of bracket of forgot he was there.
Yeah.
Scheffler to range goats. That's what I've heard.
Oh my God, just imagine.
God, what a dream.
Wow. Good logo. I'll give him that.
He looked good in pink as well. Yeah.
Did you see Wyndham Clark was wearing a pink hat in the final round
I
yesterday?
did, yeah. I actually really liked that hat
I
as
thought
well.
it was a very odd choice. I
I
guess it
like
was a
that.
T-Mobile thing, but he was wearing a pink hat.
Yeah.
Yeah. Would you ever rock a? Did you actually used to own a pink hat?
I don't know. Did I?
You got some pink shoes.
I have got
Oh,
some
you
pink
did
shoes.
get sent some pink shoes.
Yeah, yeah.
Are we going to see them on the
Gonna
channel
throw
at some
the
point?
picture right now. The old Buscemi's, wasn't it?
Yeah.
yeah. Buscemi's. I wore them in Dubai. Felt right at home.
Did you
'Cause
actually?
they got pink and gold on there.
Yeah, that's really flash.
Like, I got some nods of approval when I was in Dubai. I was like,
yeah. I think it's tricky with a item like that. Is that like people who know what they are like those are cool, and people who don't know what they are like, what the hell is that guy
Yeah.
wearing?
It's on your feet.
Yeah.
yeah,
What
but
are those?
yeah, that's just fashion in a nutshell, though, isn't
It's
it?
quite true.
Really,
Quite true.
I don't agree with it.
You don't agree with fashion?
Fashion is like as a concept.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or people who try and use fashion as a weapon to show how cool they are.
Yeah, that's the one for me.
That's the
Yeah.
one thing I don't like.
Yeah.
Like people looking good, fantastic. You know, I've strived against this for years and never managed to kind of pull it off until this year. Thank you, Johnny. Yeah. But I'm like, yeah, people who like say that they're fashionable or try
Yeah.
and push it on other people.
And belittle others.
Yeah. Yep. The thing with the fashionable people, right, is they think what they think they're wearing is fashionable, and the reason being is because it is a slightly different.
Yep.
So when people wear something that's just normal and stuff, then that's not fashionable anymore.
The thing I always have to remind myself is that the people who are very into fashion like fashion because it makes them different, just like everyone else. Well done.
There you go.
Well, deep take. Well, that's kind
I'll
of
tell
like
you
off on a
what,
tangent.
are
So
you,
thanks, Bubba.
Yeah.
But are you into the full final season of TGL finishing? Were you into it? Did you enjoy it?
I am going to throw this out there and say I'm probably in the majority of golf fans who watched the first few and then kind of trailed out
Yep.
and then didn't really follow through.
Yeah.
It was fine, and as a concept, I think it was better than I expected it to be.
Yeah.
It's hard to get engaged with something like that, which is new and which is a little bit different and which is effectively simulator golf. It was good, and I wouldn't mind getting into it a little bit more, but it didn't engage me enough to make me want to catch up. And I
Yeah.
think that the time that it was on as
Yeah,
well was a
that's
slight issue as far as UK audiences go. Like in the US, might have been a bit different, but like UK wise,
There were a couple towards the end, I think, that sort of started a bit earlier than that kind of 11
Yeah.
p.m. time for us that made it sort of a bit more accessible.
Because they had a couple of games on. They had two matches in one day.
they did a couple
so-
of two. So obviously, like the main line from this is obviously that Atlanta Drive won.
Well done. Congratulations, Kieran.
well done, well done.
Kieran's an adopted.
Well, I mean, Aaron called it on the podcast when we
He did.
when we had him
Oh
on the
my
podcast.
God, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
He did say that they were going to win.
I think when I did my random team generator, I think I was
Did you get
Atlanta as
Atlanta?
well.
Yeah, so-
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so I think
You were
we're
LA, weren't you?
you're both LA.
We're
yeah.
LA Golf Club, but we didn't do
It
particularly
did pay me
well.
to
It's a
say
shame.
that Tommy was kind of the
Bad,
reason they
yeah,
didn't get
he
to the
was- he
final.
wasn't
His
very
putting
good.
was really poor.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that indoor green, the actual turning thing's cool, but when they were putting on it, you could tell it was like a fake green,
Yeah,
which
yeah,
obviously
yeah.
was like you can't do much about it.
Yeah.
I think as far as like, did you guys enjoy it? Did you actually enjoy watching it?
No, I did. No, I did enjoy it. I liked that we kind of just got that little bit more of an insight to the people behind the golfer. I liked how they were mic'd up. I liked how you could see the conversations. There was a couple of guys that came out there shell a little bit more than usual. Some guys that really bought into it. Whether it was authentic or whether it was just kind of putting it on a little bit, then who's.
What are you saying, Jacob?
I'm just saying.
Are you saying that this piece of
holding a
entertainment they were
15-foot
hamming it up
putt
a
on
little
a
bit? Do you think?
Playing up for the
4G
cameras.
green is not exactly the most invigorating thing to make you want to.
For £9 million, it could be.
That
Well,
would do it.
listen,
Actually,
you know what I
that
mean?
would do it.
So this is one of the things how it's almost gone under the radar, and it is kind of showing how much money there is floating around the professional game at the moment. So the winning team got $9 million to split between them. So what does that work out at? I don't know if someone do maths. Second was 4.5, third was 2.25, and that kind of just split down.
Yeah, it's like
So like
2.75.
2.5, yeah.
2.5,
2.5.
2.25.
And that's just the winnings. Like I don't know if these players were paid like appearance fees
Million
or anything
each.
like that. So it's a lot of money for a concept which kind of worked.
Yeah.
Okay, well, what needs to change then? For next year, What do they need to do differently in order for them to engage the Peter Finches of the world who just watched the first couple, thought, oh, that's cool, and then weren't really engaged for the rest of the season?
I mean, I think some of the graphics and the way that they use them, for example, could have had a little bit more interaction as far as like moving the markers around and like getting engaged. I think the miking up worked to a point. It's going to be hard to like gate, effectively what's like 6 pros talking at any one time. I think the hammer I could never really get on board with. It didn't really make a lot of sense to me as far as, well, you just throw it all the time, pretty much. It just didn't make sense to me there.
But then they changed it in the mid.
To the point is they didn't really know. They were kind of working it out and deciding. I think the change worked. I think doing it the way before, where it was just as you say, you could just keep throwing it.
Yeah.
But the problem is that if one team were playing well, they had the hammer, they didn't have to throw it ever. So the other team could never ask them to risk it, because they didn't have the hammer. So now they've got 3 hammers each. If they're behind, they can just keep throwing it, which makes the hole worth more points.
It feels like they could have done it in a way which makes it more beneficial to actually throw that hammer, and more penal if they get it wrong. And like have a little bit more jeopardy. It didn't feel like it actually added that much, in my opinion anyway.
What about if the people who are playing when the hammer is thrown are then at risk if they don't win the hole? There's me versus you in a singles, right? You throw the hammer. Now I'm at risk. If I don't win the hole, I'm out.
Yeah, it's like more. It needs more risk reward.
It needs something, doesn't it? Because it's you got 1 more point than you were supposed to get, or it doesn't really feel like you're risking very much.
I think some of the early games as well, like the if a team got a long way ahead, it didn't really feel like the other team could catch up. I think it was I'm sure the organisers and Tiger and Rory, who were obviously investors, I'm pretty sure they wouldn't have been massively happy about going out at the early stage, which obviously would have affected viewership.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, I think for what it is, and for the first year, fine. I think it's good enough that you will have a second season.
Yeah. Oh, it's coming back. I think it's definitely coming. The thing I'd like to see, or what I was hoping they would do more, was I wanted the holes to be more like fantasy. I didn't want them to be necessarily look like a golf hole.
Yeah.
Like I was hoping there would be a little bit more just someone having to, you had to hit to that island cliff that was 300 yards away to make it not give you an opportunity to go right. I wanted that kind of
make it a bit more gamify it a little bit more. You're
playing golf on a simulator. Just
take advantage.
Take of what it is.
Yeah.
It is what it is. That's what you're doing. So I wanted to kind of see I don't know, just something
if you hit it into this floating vortex, it
was
drops near the green.
No, but genuinely, honestly, I don't mind that.
Something like that would be
just
cool.
Take it a bit more like that's what it's meant to be. I think they could do something with that.
I think that if it wasn't the pros, then I would probably agree with that. If it was the new people that we don't see before, or it's proper simulator golfers, I think that that's a good thing. But watching Shane Lowry or Tiger Woods play a fantasy hole where it can go through a vortex, just doesn't.
Would that not be sick?
Yes, but no.
I know what Kieran's saying. It's like, what do you want it to be? Do you want it to be actually
serious,
more fun, or more serious? Which way are you gonna go? Because
maybe they have then a section of the show, or the broadcast, where it is the influencers or celebrities or whatever, and they play a ridiculous version of it.
Nah, I don't like it. I don't like that.
Really?
Yeah, honestly, I don't.
Want it to feel like
having everything. If you're going to be playing for money and you're going to want to try and make it matter, it has to have some sort of tension. It has to have some sort of consequence. And I kind of think throw in celebs in there or influencers in there in the middle to play the vortex hole, whatever it's going to be.
Yeah.
Copyright.
Yeah, you can have that.
You can 10%, please.
10?
I don't know.
I'll take 10 of that.
10% of 9 million. I'll take it. It's kind of how to actually make it matter. Because I think if you're going to keep people engaged, it has to mean something. Because it's not, as to Kieran's point, it's not purely entertainment. It's not purely hardcore competitive golf. So it needs to be somewhere in the middle.
They've not really worked out where the mix is yet, I don't think.
And I don't think the entertainment side of things for a lot of these players, it doesn't come naturally. Like, Cameron Young is not going to be presenting a new late night talk show, is he? Let's face it.
Do you hate him?
No, I actually really like him, and I think he's one of those guys that if you got to know him, he'd probably be like really cool, nice guy, like you want to hang out with him. But like if you stick a camera in his face and a microphone, you're not gonna get a performance out of him. He's a golfer.
Yeah.
It's like Matt Fitzpatrick.
Yeah.
Like you're not gonna get a performance out of him. Like you get Billy Horschel on there, who
Loves
just
it.
loves it. Like he'll fly it. I think that's maybe the other thing that I've had feedback from people who've been. The crowd interaction and what it's like to watch it live is nowhere near as good as what it is to watch it kind of on TV because you don't hear any of the players or anything
Yeah.
like that.
Right,
Oh,
sure.
Yeah.
So it feels a bit stale,
Yeah.
like what people have been saying when you're there. And then you've got like random people jumping up and supporting their kind of teams.
Yeah.
Could get the thing like you get in the cricket. Kind of like,
Oh, yeah, that would be
The
good.
little earpiece,
You know,
Yeah.
Well, makes sense.
Yeah, something like that would be pretty cool. Yeah.
Brought to you by the Rough Cut Golf Podcast for
Oh
next
my
year.
god.
12%.
Yeah.
So if we were going to say then, if TGL season 1, Atlanta have won, it's all over. Was it a success? Was it a flop?
It wasn't a full belly flop, but it wasn't a perfect dive either. I think it'd get like a 6 out of 10 from the
Very
divers.
good, by the way. Very good.
Have you kind of you've winced though when he's hit the water? You've gone like, ooh, that's tickled.
No, it's like you're 3 days into the Olympics.
Yeah.
And you're now an expert at diving.
And there was like a bit of a splash.
Yeah,
and
it's
you're
like,
like,
oh,
God,
no.
over
that was-
rotation.
Yeah. No, the Romanian divers really messed that up there.
yeah.
Yeah, it's not good. It's
He
not
was
good.
not quite synchronized as her, so they're going
yeah.
to lose points on that one.
Yeah, and it's like, oh, he's the guy from the US. He's really good. It's like, come on. So I feel it was good, but it wasn't as engaging enough to make me be like, I have to watch this. I have to, which is hard to do for anything. But yeah, I think it was fine. It was absolutely fine. But it falls into the category of a lot of golf, which at the moment is fine. It's fine.
More jeopardy required for next year.
Yeah, but more jeopardy. And as far as like an international audience is concerned, unless you like certain players, it's hard to feel connected to Boston.
Correct. I feel you. We need a team from the UK
Well, not
or from
T-back.
Europe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be great.
Yeah.
Good for our side of it. And also maybe then they need to have a couple more stadiums, I think, also, so they can have, so it doesn't
What do
all
they
have
do with the stadium now?
It's a permanent structure.
Yeah.
So, but it's just going to have the big screen and
You can
everything.
hire it out.
That's what I'm thinking, though.
They
Surely
do birthday
must
parties.
do. Where do you want to go for your little 7th birthday, Johnny?
Good lord.
Oh yeah, maybe less of that next year.
Less
Like the
kids
hammer,
party?
the FedEx hammer.
Oh,
But
yeah.
that's
Or like
That's how they got their 9 million.
that's American
the
to a T,
hitting
though,
the
isn't it?
hitting turf is brought to you by John Deere.
Sure.
It's like it's not though, is it?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not actually brought to you. Like FedEx had nothing to do with this hammer. Like, did they?
No, they delivered it.
Should have made it the FedEx colours. I'd have that in the contract.
I've been to a few American games where FedEx have sponsored whether it was the game or whatever it was, and the match ball is like delivered, and on the screen, like a van pulls in. I mean, it's pre-recorded, but like the van pulls into the screen.
Wow, way to
and
ruin
then
it.
there's a guy like walks in with the box and then walks out, and the ref like opens a FedEx box and pulls out the American football.
They do that for the ball, TGL ball.
that is so American, and you know this product of the TGO is an American product. I would say to a T.
yeah.
You know, so for us, it's obviously difficult because we don't get to. If we're going to watch it, we're going to watch it at 2:00 in the morning, which we're not going to do.
Yeah.
Very true.
But yeah, it'd be interesting to see how it's grown the game. Is there, you know, especially people like, you know, if you've got partners or if you've got, you know, if you're living with people and you just chuck it on for 2 hours, whether that gets them into the game as well. It's something to think about.
I mean, of course, what matters is your opinion. So get down to those comments. If you're watching this on YouTube, let us know. If you're not subscribed to the YouTube channel as well, make sure you do. If you don't follow us on your favourite podcast provider as well, then your next green will be a 4-putt. So you probably should do that and give us a 5-star review. Okay, let's have a little break. And then when we come back, we're going to be discussing how Gordon Ramsay has won on the PGA Tour. Okay, Min Woo Lee has won at the Texas Children's Houston Open in Texas, presented by SoFi.
It wasn't. Presented by Texas Children, which is a children's charity.
Did all the children pitch in?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, that feels a bit cruel.
That's why,
Get
the,
a chance, honey.
that's why the greens were so good.
What, they had all the kids mowing the greens.
Yeah, they did. They worked hard.
They do it different in Texas. So, Minwoo Lee, he has won on DP World Tour before. He hadn't won on the PGA Tour. He has now triumphed. Not exactly dominated, but he was pretty close to running away with it at one point, and then decided to claw back to the field for ratings, which I think PGA
Good on
Tour
him. Well done.
absolutely delighted
Slipped
with.
him a couple of extra million.
He that tee shot he hit on the 16th, where he flared into the water was one of those points. Like, no, come on, don't do this. Like, you don't need to do that.
Yeah,
you don't need to do that. Like, I am an expert at hitting bad shots at bad times, but that was unnecessary to do that.
Yeah.
But I think he's one of those players who has had a lot of promise for a lot of years. Has had a lot of media attention as well, and who's a very good self-publicist. But I don't mean that in a bad way. You know, he's engaging. He's out there. People like him because he presents his personality.
He's the reverse of who you were just talking about.
Cameron Young.
Yeah, I was going to say Cameron Davis, but that's mean because Cameron Davis is probably lovely.
I thought they're all lovely.
Okay, right.
But like Minwoo Lee actually like puts himself out there.
Yeah.
And he's got a very big fan base now. I am getting like a little bit of Ricky Fowler vibes from him.
Okay.
As far as like he's a young, popular player who people really, really pump up. And then you're like, well, he's getting that much attention. Surely he must be like one of the best players in the world.
So I was going to say, because obviously, was it last podcast or the podcast before? I said this, and he's made me look like an absolute fool because I basically said that I felt like he was overrated and, you know, never filled his potential and all this kind of stuff. And despite the fact he is still young, and he went on won. So I'm like a little bit kind of, I'm sat back in my chair a little bit today. But I know what you mean. But then I don't know if that's I went away and thought about it a little bit more, and I don't know if that's because he's not done that himself. I think the hype and the enjoyment is because he has a great social team, basically. Like more people know him. Like the editors, like have done such a good job in like creating the content that like that's now an excitement about him. And I mean, he is a great player. Like obviously, like there's nothing about it. You know, he won on the PGA Tour. He's won 3 times on the DP World Tour. But yeah, I don't know. I
think it's a case as well when you get players like Minwoo who are like they're out there, they're engaging personalities, they seem like great people. Like the tours are going to say, okay, well this guy's playing, people like to watch him. Let's push him. Let's put him out there. He's playing in this event. Come watch him. Minwoo Lee, fantastic. The chef, let him cook. Get the frying pans out.
The chef's hats. Dr. Chapinski, get it in.
So I can understand it, and like I say, he's such a fantastic ball striker. He's one of the best stinger players I've seen as well. Like there
were multiple moments where they said, "Oh, he's got 250 into the green. He's just pulled 6 iron." You're like, "Oh, that's not a normal club for a normal human." He hits it so flaming far, and every single time I thought to myself, "He's going to be 3-wood. He's going to be." He gets out an iron.
Well,
he loves it.
One of the things we kind of spoke about this morning when we came into the office was about that golf course and how minimal rough there was, how it was literally kind of, it wasn't even bomb and gouge. It was just bomb and hit off.
Bomb and hit.
Yeah, literally. You know, there wasn't something. I'll just put one more point before you say. I was just having a look because we're going to do our picks later as well, and I was just having a quick look on Data Golf. I don't know, obviously I can't say how many times this has happened before, but on the final day for round 4, Minwoo Lee was the worst in the entire field for strokes gained off the tee. The whole field. He was lost under 2 strokes and still won the tournament, which to me does not sit well.
Yes,
it doesn't feel fair, really, does it?
I mean, for a start, he was ahead.
He was ahead.
He did have a bit of a buffer, but yeah, I know what you mean. That course as well, I think the winning scores were a little bit skewed because it got very wet. Yeah. Like prior to the rain and the delay that they had, it was actually playing quite tough. It looked like quite a tricky course, whilst being not like it wasn't crazy. Like the design was just very classic old American, I thought. And I was watching it, thinking, this is quite cool to look at. And then it obviously got rained on. But anyway,
and it was like the first majority of the first 3 days were all lift, clean, and place. Yeah. So you weren't playing weird lies. You weren't, the ball was clean every single time. So which was played into Minwoo's hands, I think, a little bit because he does hit the ball a very long way. It kind of, even if he was in the rough, it didn't really matter because he could kind of get the ball to sit up before he was going to hit his second shot anyway. So the first, and that was when he was so far ahead. And then on the final day, when it was play as it lies, he then started to come back to the field. So the evidence is there that kind of lift clean in place is great for people who hit the ball a really long way.
The flip side of what I just said before about the off the tee remark is also the other side of it is that he gained over 2 on the greens.
Right, yeah.
So, so it's if you're going to do it somewhere and then you can make it up somewhere else.
Yeah.
And for the whole tournament, he putted amazingly well.
Yeah, it was a great 2-putt to win as well.
Yes.
Wow, yeah.
That is not the type of distance that you want a 2-putt from for a win. And he made it look so easy.
What did he like? Did he like his little
his
aim point? And
It
mixed on it.
It was.
I'm not sure.
It was so. It's very hard to be funny in golf.
I feel like it's one of those things that you do, and then he may have come off and gone, that was a bit.
I think someone in the crowd shouted aim point at him.
What, and he just did it?
And he did it, and then he pointed to the person in the crowd. I think that's what's happened.
I don't mind it. Like, it's nice to see.
Because think about it, if the person he was about to beat was in his, he wasn't playing with Scotty Scheffler, and Scheffler and Woodland were both coming up behind him. And they had already finished and were signing their cards. If he was playing in the group with the person he was about to beat, would you aim point your winning putt? That's savage. That's so mean. If you're, the 2 people you're playing with are nowhere near the lead, and someone in the crowd, you're about to win your first PGA Tour event, you're very happy, you've already kind of celebrated because the previous off the green putt was so good. Why not give the crowd what they came for? He gave it a couple of put the phone downs during the chip-ins during the tournament. Why not just do it for the memes? And, his content team were probably like, thank you.
Yeah, wait for that edit.
Yeah, listen, congratulations, Min. Couple of other points on here. Rory and Scotty looking good going into the Masters. Rory doing his classic. I must admit, this is the best pre-Rory thing that I've seen Rory do. Yeah.
Right.
Like normally he changes his putter or he goes in with a new tactic or whatever. This time he said, I've got a bit of an ouchie elbow. And everyone's going, oh no, he's injured.
Yep.
Like he's not going to win, which is great.
Because now
he's not done anything crazy. All he said, he's got a little bit of a bum elbow.
Yeah, a little niggle. Yeah.
Absolutely
he's doing
fine.
so many of that bloody chicken wing thing. He must be like getting a bit of tennis elbow
He's
from it.
hyperextended it, coming out of the trees.
So yeah, Rory's going to win the Masters by $1 million.
Cool.
Gary Woodland coming back, fantastic.
That was so cool.
Yeah, I love to see it.
Well, I think probably. I mean, I was certainly wanting Minwoo to get across the line and win, but to see Gary Woodland come and if he would have won it.
So
absolutely
good.
acceptable.
Can we talk about his ball flight, by the way? Every time he hits the ball, it's like this perfect rising tight draw. Every time he was on screen, I was like, wow, this is about to be good.
I don't know if it was against something about that course, but you had Ryan Fox didn't have a great last round, but you had Ryan Fox, you had Minwoo Lee, you had Gary Woodland. All of those are like penetrating twice and then flying it up.
Yeah.
I don't know if that is anything, or maybe they're just really good golfers.
Wood with the swing is really good. Really
I think that's good. Yeah, he's on the way back. It's great to see.
Yeah.
Just before we move on to how Creator Golf is going into a vortex.
A lot of mention of
Multiple
vortexes. A lot of vortexes today.
And
no mentions of the Industrial Revolution yet either.
Not yet.
Do you want to talk about Preston's result yesterday?
No, not really. I do want to mention, and I think it's somewhere that we have to go play, the DLF Golf and Country Club. Did anybody watch any of the Indian Open?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Seriously, I would try and find some pictures. I don't know who's editing this, for good luck, of that golf course and the 17th in particular. It looks like you're going into Mount Doom to try and access the green.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. So I really want to go play there. And guys, get down to the comments below and let us know some of the amazing courses that you would like to go see us play in the coming months and years.
Yeah.
That would be an entirely new country for the Peter Finch golf team, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Have we ever been to Asia?
The only time I've been down there is...
You went to Japan.
Japan, yeah. But I didn't play golf there. I just ate.
I've been personally, but not work.
That needs to be on the sheet for the coming months, doesn't it?
It was just also just to touch on that quickly. It was so like anti-DP World Tour in having someone win at like 4 under.
There was only 4 people under par.
Honestly, that course is
so hard.
Yeah.
Like, obviously, I've not played, but to look at it and what the players have been saying, unbelievable. So we'll definitely have to get there. Right, talking about hard golf courses, the Blue Monster at Doral. So... LIV have announced the Jewels. Now, this is a rival to the PGA Tour's Creator Classic. It's going to see 6 creators. So you've got Wes and George Bryan, got Grant Horvat, Fat Perez, Luke Wan, and Rick Shields. They're teaming up with 6 LIV players. It's going to be 9-hole scramble. There's a 250K prize pool, and the creators are going to get kind of paid to be there. Interestingly, is the first one is going to be hosted on Grant's channel.
Yeah.
Not on like the LIV channel, which
that was strange.
It's not live either, so it's going to be like edited and an actual YouTube video.
Oh.
Good luck with that edit.
So I mean, I imagine he's probably going to get help from
I would say so.
the LIV team. So there's a lot to kind of unpack here. I think obviously we've had the Creator Classic, we've had 2 iterations of that. So Tour Championships last year, which we played in. The first one at Sawgrass, which Grant won, who's on just an absolute YouTube heater right now. And then you've got the next one, which is in Philadelphia, which we're kind of on the fence about going to. And then this one prior to that, which is going to be at Doral with LIV. As a concept, you had 2 choices. Try and like remove yourself from this situation. You're just a YouTube golf watcher. You had 2 choices of which video to watch.
Yeah.
And it's in its format. So one's live, Creator Classic, and then one is like an edited video.
How long is it?
And with all these people in there. I've no idea. 9 holes, you'd imagine it's probably going to be about the same time, maybe a bit shorter. So like, I think Creator Classic's about 3 to 4 hours. This is probably, I don't know, 2.5, 3.
Okay.
Which one are you going to sit down and watch?
Thumbnails both the same?
I'm watching the Jewels.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm watching the Jewels. I think the combination of the pro creator blend probably entices me in a little bit more because you're getting best of both worlds in that situation. Obviously, in the most LIV possible way, it's this throwing the money number again of like, oh, it's how much money. I don't think people are going to be seeing that and going, oh God, I'm so glad that Rick and Grant and everyone's going to be able to play for a bit of money because God, they must be struggling. But
Get us on there. We really are struggling.
I'll play. Then they might care.
Yeah, me and Brooks Koepka can win the money. Don't know how many of my shots we'll use.
And I think the fact that it is a edited video maybe might help a little bit. But then we have seen, with the first Q at Myrtle, like the product has to be good.
Yeah.
Because people can have high anticipation for it and be looking forward to the video. But if the product doesn't come through and it's not good, then there can be backlash. But I'm sure that they'll find a way, especially I'm sure Grant will have plenty of input as well into how that's going to go and how that's going to work.
Yeah.
It's a tricky one.
Yeah, it's an interesting one. I think that it being on Grant's channel, like at the first when hearing about it, I thought that it felt a bit weird, but why wouldn't this go on the biggest channel in the world at the moment? Like this wants to go out to as many people as it can. He's averaging 1 million views every single time. So it makes sense that it could go on it. I think that, and that bit there, the idea is that each creator would host the event.
Yeah.
Does that mean that the next one's going to be on the Brian Bros channel?
Again, it depends on if the same creators are going to be doing it. But the idea originally is going to be that it'd be on Grant's, and next one would be on Rick's, and then it'd like be shared throughout. So
I think that's a great. I think that's brilliant. I think that that was probably something that the PGA Tour Creator Classic would probably lack, is that not very many people are watching it kind of live, if you know what I mean, just in the standard, because obviously, like I say, it's a free 4-hour product, whereas this is going to be likely an hour and a half.
Yeah.
So
it's more of a YouTube video.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. And it'll probably be filmed. Well, I don't know how it's going to be filmed, but is it going to be behind the ball, zoom into the things, like all those sorts of things? So
is it going to be like a golf YouTube video?
Yeah,
or is it going to be?
Yeah. Is it going to be a broadcast sort of thing?
Yeah.
Which I think will massively affect how it is perceived. Like going back to the Q at Myrtle Beach thing, your edit turned something that could have been a very boring broadcast into something which the audience were used to watching, which is really well filmed, well edited videos of a tournament.
Yeah.
If they do it the other way round and it's, static cams and we maybe don't get the insight that we want and we're getting different angles than we're used to and there's maybe not traces, then I think it kind of works against it in that respect.
Well, even the thing that the Jules has added as well on top is you've obviously got Bob and Joey and
we didn't spoke about
Andrew
that.
Santino, I think the comedian. They're all doing comms on it as well.
Yeah.
So that's another element on top of what the Creator Classic kind of side of it is. Now I know from conversations that upcoming Creator Classics, it might look that they have copied off this Jules from what I've heard that might be happening in future ones. Just to put that out there. But the thing is the PGA Tour now probably everything is always like a gauntlet thrown down They've thrown
reactionary.
They've thrown a SoFi hammer or whatever it's called. The PGA, it's almost now everyone looks to the next Creator Classic and goes, how are you going to make that better now? Which again, I suppose is a good way. You know, it is pushing both sides. It's only going to create better products for people who actually want to watch it. And then, you know, we'll see how this first Jules go, because I think it's going down on the 5th, right? 5th of April, I think, is the actual playing of.
Yes.
And then however long after they have to edit the video and stuff like that.
I can't imagine it'd take too long
That's what I
to
was
get
gonna
it
say.
out.
It's going to be a 24-hour turnaround.
Well, this is what I mean. Could
24
it
hours.
genuinely be like a broadcast production and then just put on Grant's channel? That's kind
Maybe.
of what I'm.
I imagine so. Like, you've got a lot of people, a lot of players, a lot of shots. So,
Yeah.
you know, there's no way like Paul Schuyler's going to be kind of like
Can
doing
you
a 2.5 hour
imagine?
turnaround.
Imagine the stress.
So I imagine, because the one thing with the Creator Classic, which I think is good, like with the live broadcast, with the tracers and all the rest of it, and how they treat it as a round of an actual tour event, I think that's good. And I think it is different visually. I think it impacts very different, but it is still length and the fact that it's not a YouTube video. Like most people watch YouTube videos because they like the people they're watching, their characters, the interaction between them, the chat, the fact that they're mic'd up.
Yeah.
That's what they prefer. I don't think they're overly bothered about seeing creators playing a tour event round. Like I think the last one at Sawgrass, the biggest criticism was the fact that it was just commentators and it wasn't the actual creators doing the chat, which I think is a big weakness which maybe LIV are going to exploit.
Yeah.
The Jules thing does look really interesting, but the real question is, do you think that it kills the Creator Classic? And excuse me, were you invited?
Which one?
Please both.
So I think on the second point, I have had conversations with potential about going to the Jules. I think I was in the original selection and then got, I don't know, just put to the side or whatever. That's not to say that I don't know if we would have gone or not. But one of the big advantages that LIV have is you're obviously playing for a big prize pool, but then as far as the creator's concerned, you're going to get an appearance fee. Now, if you want to have the best creators at your event, you have to give them some sort of incentive. Now, with Grant, it's a bit different on this one, maybe because he's going to get this on his channel. He's probably going to do very well. The difference with the PGA Tour is obviously it's on the PGA Tour's channel. Like when we did the first event in Atlanta, we wanted to be there at the Tour Championship because it was a new thing. It was going to be cool. It was going to be excited. We did enjoy it, but we kind of ended up having to pay to be there to create this for the PGA Tour.
It felt like a bit of a...
I did use the Blackstone Grill yesterday.
No way!
Yeah, we'll get into that in a minute.
Oh my God!
But
I'd forgotten about that.
like the one at Sawgrass again would have been quite cool, but this one at Philadelphia again, we're trying to figure out that if we go there and we actually turn it into a little bit more of a trip, again, it's probably going to end up costing us money for content that like we're not really going to have. So it does feel a little bit weird. It kind of feels like LIV have come in and said, okay, one of the weaknesses of the Creator Classic is not having all the people there that people want to watch. Like literally you got Where's George, Graham, FP, Luke and Rick. You know, we're talking about either the biggest YouTube channel in the world. Obviously, I mean, Rick's a little bit different because he, you know, is a LIV kind of ambassador now. But you got Luke, you got Grant, both their channels are doing really well. Wes and George doing really well. Fat Perez, fantastic personality. You know, people just want to watch him. So you've got a group of people here that people want to watch and they have that engagement. So to have that as opposed to the Creator Classic, which I kind of fear that the Creator Classic has such a good potential. But if they're going to do it, they have to do it properly. They can't half-arse it. Mm-hmm. It's got to be like, okay, we are going to get you here. You are going to be here. Grant's going to be there. Where's George Bryan? All these players are going to be there. So you have to watch it. And we're actually going to get you there. And if we're just having your time and not the content, then we're going to pay you to be there as well.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, this isn't a PGA Tour event. Even if the Creator Classic had a prize pool, something, just to incentivize people a little bit more. Because at the end of the day, because there are going to be celebrities at the Philadelphia one as well. And I think it's going to be like some kind of like pairs event.
Yeah.
I'm going to take a wild thrusting stab and say these celebrities aren't going to be giving up their time for free.
That is a good point.
Yeah.
I hadn't thought about that.
It's, you've got YouTube on board with the Creator Classic.
Yeah.
The platform that you are putting this out on and the people that you are taking from this platform, and yet it's still just this kind of, like you say, just not taking it to its full potential of where it could go.
Yeah, it's just I don't know. It's a weird one, and we're in this situation now where, again, these things have accelerated and got to this point like pretty quickly. So I think there's a lot of case of people just trying to find their feet and trying to figure out the best way of doing it. But if the Jewels is a massive success, then I don't know.
Also, this is completely, but what does this mean for Wes?
Tricky.
Not sure. Honestly, not sure.
Is this him just saying that he just doesn't want to be a pro anymore? That's a bit exaggerated, but like...
Or is that going to be Team YouTube on LIV next year? Where's George, Grant and Luke on
to be honest,
Team YouTube?
To be honest, like, this could be... You could say if it goes really well, like, it could be used as a bit of an audition.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Because LIV does have that flexibility. Again, it goes into the point of being, like Kieran mentioned with TGL, are we going for pure professional golf standards, or are we going for more entertainment?
Yeah.
Like, Wes has won on the PGA Tour, but he's kind of, he's now moved into being more of a YouTube creator. And like Grant, obviously, really the biggest name in YouTube golf at the moment, fantastic amount of views, absolutely killing it, very good player. But I doubt he's going to be able to stand up to, playing Brooks Koepka on a weekly basis.
Yeah.
So it just depends on...
But it's a good point, though, because, like, are more people going to turn on LIV because they know Wes is playing compared to Kevin Na? Like...
Again, another player who's on LIV, completely forgot about him.
Like, I say Quan as well. Quan's
a good player.
Quan's in with the international series. Obviously, that's a LIV kind of product as well. So he's in with that sort of crowd. So that would be a great fit.
Yeah, Grant's been filming with LIV people all year. Luke's obviously doing the international series stuff. Rick's already an ambassador.
Yeah.
The Bryans and FP's not necessarily there because they expect him to go and win it. He's there because he is hilarious and really entertaining and one of the nicest dudes ever. Wes and George is the tricky one because they're both trying to play on the PGA Tour at the same time. So I think they maybe have to make a choice based on how well this goes to say I'd rather play. They're having the same dilemma that PGA Tour players were having.
The interesting thing as well is that Wes and George were on the committee of the creator, creator committee. So
Well, the Creator Council, where you give up your time for free to tell the PGA Tour.
Yeah, but you know what I mean?
How to create their digital product.
Does that kind of give an idea?
And we'll host it on our channel.
Yeah, but does that kind of give an idea that there must be communication within the LIV and the PGA Tour within this? Wes can't have just gone out and I don't know.
There was also talk that Wes and George might be playing in a PGA Tour event kind of soon.
Yeah. What's the pairs boy called?
I don't know what you're talking
The
about.
Zurich Classic.
I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about.
Go and watch.
I did say that.
Go and watch Peter Finch versus George Bryan from our channel, which came out a couple of days ago. Go and watch that and listen to what George said about that potentially happening.
Which this could be the starting point of, for me in my head, I don't know about your guys, but like this for me is like the starting point of something where we're seeing that merge. I really do. For me, I'm just seeing if we start with the creators, because there's crossovers here with PGA Tour and LIV, is it going to be the start to having that one tour?
I'm not sure. I think golf is just in such a weird spot at the moment. And certainly the creator side of things is continuing to go from strength to strength, but it's kind of reached this point now where, well, where's the next thing? Like, where are we going? Like, what's the idea here? Like, what do people want to watch? And I don't think anyone's really figured out the answers yet.
You have to win enough Creator Classic events to earn your spot at the Jewels.
There might be no creators left going to the Creator Classic at this rate.
Because they're all over there.
It's interesting. I'm very excited to this. Like, if the thing for me with the Creator Classic as well is that there's a lot of, and with golf in general, there's a lot of dead space you have to fill. You know, people are walking to the ball, all this sorts of stuff. Like, there's a lot of filling time you have to do with golf. If this can be where they just cut out that dead space and it is golf, hit, you know, none of this like cutting away to things. This is a product that would be unbeatable.
Yeah, no, I agree. Like, if you're gonna do YouTube video, do a YouTube video.
That's what I mean,
Make it YouTube.
You know, you're not waiting 5 minutes for them to walk to the ball to the second shot. You know that, and that is the thing that makes golf hard. Like, you have to walk to shots. You know, that's what makes it a hard broadcast and a hard watch at times.
Have the players mic'd up.
Yeah, and have the players lights up.
Just in a bit again,
Please.
the thing that creator content and way of done it now in the last like 2 years is like buggy cams and things like, you know, like when you're moving to the ball, you're not walking, you're now talking in a buggy together and all that, you know.
Or we're cutting from the second shot
straight to the next one.
To the green, you know, so there's always that engagement.
If we can get, there's two things that you spoke about, one of the things that you want to get rid of, which is the ball flying in the air shot that the tours are using.
How are we still doing this?
How we're still doing that is absolutely baffling to me. The other thing that I would love to get rid of is where they cut to a still image of the water feature on a PGA Tour event when they haven't got anything happening.
What I like about those ones,
I hate it so much. There's people out there playing golf right now.
Those cut screens where they go to the leaderboards, for whatever reason, apart from the Masters, all those cutaway screens are a bit crap.
Yeah.
Why are they such low quality?
Like, it's kind of like it's pointing at a half a water hazard with a bank.
Yeah.
And like some work going on in the background with some diggers or something. It doesn't seem to make any sense.
Very odd.
What I always find with those is I spend the whole broadcast looking at what looks like a fake alligator in the water, and I'm like, is it real?
Yeah.
Or is it like, well, there's a duck that's like moved about half an inch. I'm like, is that there, or is it like a...
And they cut back to it later, and it's the same 15-second loop that they're using, and the duck's gone back.
Anyway, it's
God's
a small
sake.
thing.
So I'm definitely not going to be picking Wes for my major picks. Is that basically what we're saying?
Good Lord.
Well, it is now time to move on to the most important major picks podcast segment that you'll ever see on
this
today,
podcast.
Today. So each year, the four of us go through our major picks. Now, it's simple-ish. So we pick 4 golfers each, and we do it on a draft basis. One of us goes first, and then it's kind of in order. If somebody picks a player, you can't pick them. The third player, the fourth player that we pick has to be outside the top 50 in the golf rankings. Now, rather controversially, we have ditched the official world golf rankings because it's obviously skewed towards PGA Tour, DP World Tour, and doesn't take account to LIV golfers. You can make an argument. Obviously, we had this conversation before about the competitiveness of LIV and all the rest of it. However, the fact John Rahm is not like the 55th best player in the world.
It would make the outside 50 picks way too easy.
Exactly.
Like,
Yeah. So we're going to go on Data Golf World Rankings.
Which is a really interesting thing as well, just to bring before we go. Like, also, we're kind of showing there how obsolete the official world golf rankings are a little bit there. You know, do you know what I mean?
We've said this for quite some time that something does need to change as far as like the world golf rankings, and more people are just like talking about the Data Golf rankings because it's more on performances on every tour. Doesn't matter about cuts or anything else. So.
Yeah. Now, one thing I did want to just really quick check, just 2 minutes. That's all I need. By the time the first pick has been made in about 30 seconds, the fact that the cupboard is not full of food yet. Now, is that a problem or?
That's weird.
I wanted to do this.
You can't say anything.
You really can't say anything.
Because the cupboard was only filled by you, I think, as the podcast went out. I think you ran out to Asda and just like stocked the shelves super quick.
I wanted to do like a David Jones, you have a dit to pee.
Yeah, so
You'll spend an eternity on this ship.
I lost.
You're a liar.
I lost the major picks last year, and the way we do it, by the way, it's wherever your player finishes in the major. So let's say someone's going to pick Scotty Scheffler, but somebody picks Scotty Scheffler, he finishes first at the Masters, you will get 1 point. If somebody misses the cut, then you get the points of the amount of players who missed the cut, and it's the person with the lowest points at the end of the year who wins.
You get the points of the amount of players who made the cut.
Made the cut, sorry, yeah. And if your player doesn't play in the event, you get an automatic miscut number.
Yes. Yeah. So last year, there were a couple of those miscut numbers, and we need to try and I think that is the tactic, is to try and avoid the miscut. That's it.
Just get someone who's playing.
Just make the cut.
Yeah.
Play the tournament. You'll do great.
I've kind of taken that into my decisions this year.
You've got notes.
I've got notes.
You've got notes.
Are you picking Jake Knapp?
No, because he's not there.
Do you want to just explain that to that?
No, I'm all right.
You're all right.
Okay, so the way that it normally works is that it's a snake draft. So the person who picks fourth gets to pick two, and then we go back down the line to the person who picked first. Now we're going to do a spin the wheel to work out the order. There's Jacob's picks before he's even done it. We're going to go random. Do you want me to screen record this, or we can just we can just fake it later?
Well, yeah, go on then.
Okay,
yeah.
here we go. This is spin to see who picks first.
Who's going to pick Rory McIlroy first?
It is Jacob Broadbridge.
That might not. That I think on the turn is sometimes sneaky good.
Actually, are we going there and then back?
Because
two
I'm
in a
now
row?
I'm now
He's one.
late.
Yeah, actually, yeah. You want
Picking second is
third would be
going to
great.
be Peter Finch.
give me third.
Sucks. Like, second's the worst place to pick.
And then between me and Kieran, for third and fourth, picking third will be Kieran Mulhall, which means that I
Mix
am
on
picking
turn.
On the turn,
fourth.
I like the turn.
Okay.
Okay, so get your notes ready, whatever you've got prepped for
I'll
yourself.
jot them down.
You're
as
going to
well.
write them down as we
Yep.
go. Jacob Broadbridge, you are now on
Scotty
the clock.
Scheffler.
Well, it was kind of expected.
That's not massively unexpected there.
Multiple majors this year, do you think?
Yeah, why not?
Not this. No, I don't reckon so.
Yeah, at the end of the day,
You got to get him in.
I got to get him in. If he doesn't win, it doesn't matter. He's going to be up there.
Yeah, he's in the top 10.
So I'm picking now, am I?
Peter Finch.
So I'm going to go for Rory McIlroy.
Oh, wow. Do you think maybe, like, obviously now we can't, but do you think maybe one year we should change it to, like, you cut out some people? Just to, like,
There should be banks, and like you pick one person from bank
tiers.
one person from bank
The
two.
thing is, you got to be able to pick. So
It's hard, though.
I mean, we've
really-
already spoken quite a
hard
lot
enough.
about how Rory's like maybe never going to win a major again, but we can almost guarantee that he's going to make every single cut. We can almost guarantee he's going to like finish top 10. So almost like Scotty will probably win a major this year, but is he going to be as consistent as Rory?
Sure, yeah.
Who's going to be more beneficial to your team?
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kieran.
It's Moneyball. It's Moneyball.
Yeah, it's Moneyball. Yeah.
Please may I go for Bryson DeChambeau.
You didn't do what you thought. I thought you were going to do.
He didn't do what you thought he was going to do.
I don't like that pick.
Yeah. Him for the Masters, that is my pick.
No.
He's not. I don't think he's going to do very well in any of us, but he's going to win the Masters this year.
Do you reckon?
Yeah.
Mate, I don't know. See, the thing is with Bryson, like, I can imagine him.
Round one leader, like that's an instant bet. You know?
The problem is he will miss the cut of the Open.
That's what I mean. I'm banking on a couple of the events that suit him for the venues coming up.
I think that's going to be. I'm not sure.
Like,
about
I
that.
love him for Quail Hollow as well. So but Rory will win that, and then he'll come second.
I think the problem being is that the Open is the like real problem, because Rory will probably make the cut at the Open.
Yeah.
Scheffler will be near the top. I don't know if Bryson will be. I don't think the Open suits him at all as a tournament.
But I don't think Scotty Scheffler likes the Open either. So
Yeah,
like,
but he'll at least make the cut.
yeah.
Okay, Michael.
So I have got two picks,
You do,
which
yeah.
is great because I have two people right near the top of my sheet. My first round pick, just because I don't want to pick my second round pick as my first round pick, because these are the like top boys.
Sure. Okay. You want them to sit in the first
I
round.
want them to. This is
in the draft.
My first round pick is Ludwig Oberg.
I was going to go for
Yeah, very good.
I did want that.
I think he's my sneaky pick for the Masters this year. He not only has a really good. It's interesting because his track record at the Masters is just last year.
Yeah.
But he was excellent in it. Does well under pressure. You know, I think there's big things coming for him. Everyone's saying he's going to win multiple majors in his career, and I'm getting in as early as possible.
Yeah,
Ludwig Oberg.
Very good.
I'm going to put a tick next to his name because I got him. And then my second round pick, I'm going to start off this second round with someone who you all are going to be very surprised by, Patrick Cantlay.
Ooh.
Please.
Okay. Wow, I didn't expect that.
From the statistics, has the highest number of top 10s in the majors in the last 5 years.
Okay.
Just always near the top. Doesn't win it, but always near the top.
Fair enough.
Sander Schauffele.
Yeah, that was who I was expecting.
I must admit, yeah.
You know, going off the 2023 season, 10, 17th, 10, 17th. Last year, first, 7th and 11th. So, you know, again, the Masters, he's a top 10 always.
How the hell did you spell his name? Oh, was it?
Oh, I can tell you.
Did you win that one?
I did, yeah.
The one where you had to guess the spelling. I mean, if you just put...
That'll do.
We know
Close enough.
Xander.
Yeah, we know who Xander is.
Xander. Okay, right. So I've had a couple of my wants go there, but I was never expecting to get them. So, again...
Drama now.
So a player who... it's a tricky one. Okay, I'm going to go John Rahm. Oh. So there was a few people there who I was kind of fancying more than John Rahm as far as like winning. But again, can you see John Rahm realistically making the cut at all these majors? Yeah, of course you can.
100%. Yeah, definitely.
Okay, Jacob Broadbridge, your second pick.
Don't do it.
Don't do it.
Don't do it.
Do it.
Don't do it. We know who you're going for.
The thing is, the tactic we did speak about before when we came in here was getting your top 50 out quick.
Yeah, no one's done it
Because
yet.
there could be someone who I feel is like up there. So I'm trying to debate if I want to do that. But I know what you think I'm going to do. And I'm going to do it. Tommy Fleetwood.
Oh my God,
There we
why?
go.
I just want him on my team.
Yeah,
I keep saying it.
we
and I won't
were
do it.
saying this that like I'm rooting for him anyway, but if I get another excuse to root for him because he's going to earn me low points, then that's great.
He is sick from data golf.
Yeah, he's really high up.
He has also sneakily been amazing this year.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
hasn't finished outside the top 25.
Yeah.
Like he is playing really good golf. Had a great finish in the Masters last year. He's always tipped for an Open. I like the pick. It is a bit heart instead of head, but I still like the pick. Now,
Have you put?
it's me again.
Oh,
yeah.
it's you again.
Yeah.
Have you just kept up with your bet? With your
Yeah.
So what are you at now?
I am minus £9.
Right.
Damn.
I've got the notes on my phone. I'll have to.
What's the deal? You're betting each way on every tournament he
£5
plays
each
in.
way every time he plays.
Yeah, and you're £9 quid down.
£9 down.
Yeah,
Right.
thanks, Tommy.
Nah, this is tricky now.
Okay, Jacob going again.
Do I pick the? Because it might not come back.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go. Oh no. I'm gonna go for Sahith Theegala. I'm gonna go for my 50.
Oh, I was going to say
54. He's
That's-
currently ranked. He's ranked 54.
He's played 10 rounds in the majors and he's only missed 3 cuts. So I'm hoping that it will continue.
He's not had a great year. That might be a downfall for Broadbridge there.
He's been up there a couple of times.
Okay, I'm gonna stay very securely within the top 50 here. In fact, I'm gonna stay within the top 10.
Yeah.
I am gonna go for Colin Morikawa.
Yeah, that's who I
You've
was
got-
really.
You've got a great team there.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
who I was kind of thinking about.
I think again, as far as like
Solid.
he's won like majors before.
Sorry, Peter. That Sahith Theegala needs to be in that right-hand column there because it's his over 50 player.
No, he picked him early. He picked his player 3.
No. That's his over 50 player.
Yeah.
So you can pick your over 50 player first.
Yeah, I picked him right.
Yeah.
I picked Joaquin Neiman right at the beginning last year
You can pick him wherever you want.
because I wanted him.
Wow. So you've still got a top 50 player there.
Yeah.
But he's
I wouldn't have picked- I wouldn't have-
sacrificed his pick
Yeah.
to get the guy that he wanted.
Interesting.
I wouldn't have picked him as a. To
I
go
wouldn't
in
have gone
at.
straight out the
Yeah.
gate with him.
I'm going to go with my over 50, Thomas Dietrich.
So that was my other guy.
Yeah, he's only. I think he's only one spot ahead.
His last 5 major rounds, he's not missed a cut. So.
Okay, well, there we go. There we go. I like him. I also like him for a round 1 leader at the Masters.
I've got
Charlie Hoffman.
I've got him to miss the cut of the Masters.
Xander, Bryson, Thomas Dietrich, and Nikolai Højgaard. They're your 4 bets for round 1.
Okay, there you go.
Don't take betting advice from Kieran.
No,
Yeah,
I like
literally ever.
Never do it.
Mate, literally, look at the stats. The last couple of years, Xander's like ridiculously had like 2 or 3 leading round 1s in the round 1 of the Masters
Okay.
in the last 6 years.
Make work.
Yeah, I'm tempted to get my outside the top 50 person now.
Are you picking both now, though?
Yeah, you got
yeah,
both.
Oh, I've
yeah.
got both.
Yeah.
Okay, great, cool. I'll have in my player 3 spot. I'll have Shane Lowry, please.
I was gonna go in, but
Back to where he won the Open.
Yeah.
Had a pretty good year last year.
looking great as well. this
Looking
year.
really good. And for my player outside of the top 50, I'm not even going top 60. I'm not going top 70. I'm not going top 80. He's in the top 100 players on Data Golf. Justin Rose.
Oh, he was going to be mine.
He was on my list, yeah.
He was, yeah.
In a Ryder Cup year, a man who wants to make
He
that
had
team.
a weird. Last year was weird though because he had like 2 missed cuts, but then 2 top 10s.
Yes,
It was like,
so I'm just banking on him, just wanting to get back in that team, having that communication with Luke Donald to say, listen, Justin, I want to take you. I want to take you to Bethpage, but I cannot do it unless the events that you win are memorable and meaningful in the world of golf. So go out there and do it in the majors. Come on, Justin, let's have the points.
I won a fair bit of money off GT. Yeah,
Rose last year.
So,
But those 2
right.
events.
Outside top 50, and rather annoyingly, this is where using Data Golf is a bit of a killer because then you could get a lot of very, very good kind of live players.
Yeah, really good.
So we've all picked ours right now. Yeah, our top 50s.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so,
so
it's
who's
just-
next to go?
So
With
it's
me.
Pete. So in terms, because I had Thomas Dietrich written down, I had Thagala written down.
I think it might be me. Because it's back to you. And you've gone, so it's back to me, and I was third.
If he's third, then it's
oh,
you.
yeah, sorry,
yeah.
mate. Yeah.
No, you're right. You're good. I don't know, but it was just the order. I got 2. I've got heart and head.
I've not heard of him.
Obviously, the heart
Is he going to play well this year?
The heart is Brooks. The head says Tyrrell Hatton.
Tyrrell Hatton's within the top 50.
He is, yeah.
So have you already got your outside?
Yeah,
Or
he's
is
got
he
Dietrich.
still-
I've got my
you've got
outside,
Thomas Dietrich
yeah.
already.
Yeah.
So you can go.
You can go wherever you want.
So let's think about it logically, right? Brooks is going to play pretty well at the Masters. We
Yeah.
assume he's top of the non-thingy bobby rankings.
Yeah. Love him for Oakmont.
Yeah, he's going to play well at the PGA. He's going to be well at the US Open. Is he going to
You know
do?
you want to do it.
I think I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna go Brooks
Got
Koepka.
him.
Gonna go Brooks.
Brooks Koepka currently 42nd in the
He
world.
is. Where is Tyrrell?
Data Golf.
He's
Tyrrell's-
up there.
Well up there, yeah.
Like 8th or something.
He is. Where is he? There he is. 13th. Again, Data Golf.
He's a big. Yeah, he's a good one this year. But I'm gonna stick with Brooksy.
So Pete, you've got to go with your outside top 50. Yeah.
Well,
I've got of the 2.
Now we're doing this apparently, which I didn't know.
Can I just say, I am not one for spelling. I am the worst at spelling it. Some of these
Oh yeah,
are
it's awful.
just
Yeah. Absolutely all over the place. Thing is, I don't know
Thomas
why.
Dietary.
See, for some reason, I'm like when I'm typing as well, it keeps missing out.
I
It
like
has put
letters.
spaces in a
I
stop.
like Zeta Schoffel.
Zeta, yeah.
Brooks Koepka.
Yeah. Like what the hell's going on?
Deschambau is on there.
Balbud.
Ludwig Abeg.
Over 50. Right. My over 50.
Ludwig Abeg.
I got 2 more that I wrote down
Stinky ones.
on the top 50 ones. I don't like it, but of the 2 I wrote, I put Cam Smith and Jordan Spieth. Those are the only other 2 that I kind of made notes of.
I will tell you who the best ones are. Jake Knapp, Ricky
So-
Fowler.
I mean, I could just make my pick as well.
Oh, you could
No,
make
Yeah,
that.
I'm just going to make my pick.
I'm just telling you who was there.
Who's going to supplement your already ridiculously good team?
See, the thing is, I want somebody who could actually cause me a little bit of drama and actually keep me engaged.
Right.
So I went for Thigala.
So, for that reason, and because maybe, just maybe, he might not be quite as crap this year, I'm going to go Jordan Spieth. See what I mean?
That's
Like, that's come out as Jorad.
Jorad Spieth.
if you want to keep it exciting, then you pick the perfect person.
You've literally got a really
No,
nice team.
honestly,
Your team would be so good like 5 years ago.
Yeah.
I think my team there is unreal.
I think that is
apart from Spieth, who I'm banking on having just a better year.
In like 2011 to 2014, your team's unbeatable.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. You've picked Justin Rose, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Ryder Cup legend.
Yeah, Ryder Cup legend, exactly. A legend. Like, statue should be built in his honour because he's really old.
Is this the Bay? Justin, Shane, Aberg.
Yeah. Patrick Cantley's Atlanta. Who was the other? Minwoo. Minwoo was
Minwoo,
the
yeah.
Bay.
No one's
He
picked the
almost
chef.
picked the Bay.
You almost picked the Bay.
So we have one slot remaining. Player 3 inside the top 50 for Jacob Broadbridge.
Russell Henley. Put his name in. Russell Henley. Write it.
Wow.
His last 30 rounds in majors, he's only missed 7 cuts. I want him in my team. Russell Henley.
Wow.
Yeah, I didn't see that coming, did you?
No,
that's,
not really. But he might just be one of those players who, again, is overlooked.
He doesn't miss cuts. That's all I care about. Just get in the weekend. That's fine.
I'm going to say he's going to miss 3 out of 4 cuts in the majors. This
And
year.
finish like last in
Yeah, I
that
think
cut.
so.
for
Yeah,
the third.
definitely,
He gets
definitely
the
top,
cup.
definitely top 10%.
Look, so you tell me otherwise, but the other people I had written down was Justin Thomas, Joaquin Neiman, and Akshay Bhatia. So
I mean, Joaquin.
Joaquin
Neiman,
is,
I would have gone Neiman.
Yeah,
Wow.
Joaquin, yeah.
But-
my problem with Joaquin is that he's got invites to the first 2. I don't know if he's playing in the rest yet.
Yeah, true.
I can't take that risk.
Yeah.
I mean, like Justin Rose is he guaranteed for any?
Yeah, yes, because
he's
he
playing-
came all of them because he came second in the Open.
Yeah, I don't. Does that guarantee you everything?
Yeah, he's playing in the Masters, definitely.
Justin Thomas will have a top 10 in one of them,
Yeah.
but he's also
I'm
pure on for a miscut somewhere.
I'm sure it.
I just want consistency.
So
Just want consistency.
to round this up, my team: Rory McIlroy, John Rahm, Colin Morikawa, Jordan Spieth. Mixed team: Ludwig Oberg, Patrick Cantley, Shane Lowry, Justin Rose. Jacob's team: Scotty Scheffler, Tommy Fleetwood, Russell Henley, Sahith Theegala. Kieran's team: Bryson DeChambeau, Xander Schauffele, Brooks Koepka, and Thomas Dietrich.
We've got some stinky. I think we've all got.
I don't want to sound too confident, but I think
have
I've got the best team.
You have got the best team for sure.
Your problem will be Jordan Spieth. If Jordan Spieth,
He is a problem.
Yeah, he's a problem. If Jordan Spieth comes back to even a morsel of his former glory, you're going to walk this. But if he doesn't, you're going to be in big trouble. Big trouble.
I mean,
Because
I
the
just-
rest of those people will make all the cuts of the tournaments they play in. Surely.
You'd imagine so, yeah. You'd imagine so. I must be honest, Jacob's team.
That's fine. You can think it all you like. I like being the underdog. That's fine.
It's different. It's
different.
From your last couple of years.
Yeah.
You've had a lot. You've had very, very strong teams.
I think Kieran's is the biggest. Like you would expect this, but the biggest gamble. Like Bryson
Yeah.
will not make all the cuts in the majors. You imagine Xander just coming back from an injury. Brooks, who knows? Thomas
I
Dietrich.
think you've got 2 like really long, powerful hitters who will do well in everywhere apart from the Open, in theory. And then you've got 2 like kind of very technical, slightly shorter hitters in Schauffele and Dietrich, who are, Schauffele's obviously proven that he can do it in those tournaments, but Dietrich is he's on the trend upwards, but it's a
In all
tricky
fairness,
one.
Xander and Dietrich smash it a long way as well. He
I
just got the
honestly,
power.
out of the 3 years we've done this is my favourite team.
That's your favourite team,
For me,
Really?
yeah.
You know what? You know what it is.
Not in terms of like it might not be the strongest team, it might be, but like I like it because I've picked it for what I want.
You like
It's
it because you picked Henley.
Yeah, no, I like
It's
like
a very
that it's
Jacob
not.
team. That
Yeah.
it's a very
plucky outsider.
It's a very
Yeah,
Jacob
see,
team.
yeah, there'll be some people behind me. They'll be like, "Yeah, that's the team I want to support."
Yeah, which
yeah,
team?
there
Yeah,
will be.
which team do you like the best out of
Yeah,
all
get
of us?
down in the comments. Yeah, let us know.
Okay, cool. Okay, right. Let's move on to Guess the Player, the best golf quiz in YouTube golf podcast audio histories of the world.
Hello and welcome back to the 2025 edition of Guess the Player, the game where your knowledge of golf history is more important than your ability to actually hit the ball. How the game works. At the end of each episode, I describe the life and career of a famous golfer, and after each clue, these accomplished professionals write down who they think it is. However many hints it takes them to get home is how many shots they took on that hole. So, if you get a par 5 after just 4 clues, you would finish that hole in 1 under par. Here are the current standings. Let's rejoin the action as the players tee off. Excellent. So we're going to make this a slightly speedier round than normal because we know we've taken up more than your time than we would on a normal podcast day. But
They're not doing anything.
we're not. They're not. They got loads of time. Oh, they got loads of time.
Sit in the car for a bit longer.
Today we're playing a par 5.
I'm just going to have to write really hard.
That's all right. Oh, no, I'll use my shoe.
You what?
You use your shoe? What type of witchcraft is he doing?
If that works,
that
No, that does normally work. Honestly, like I did it in the exam once. It ran out and then...
that is so Kieran taking in a pen that doesn't work.
And you wonder why you fell. Like, right on the sheet, not on your shoe. Is that what you tried to hand in?
No, maybe because it's not
The
black.
shoe.
Anyone got a black sole?
No.
Unfortunately, I do not.
Unfortunately.
We'll have to...
No, honestly, like, you can get like the outline of that kind of...
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll have to share pen.
Or we just share pen. Yeah, we'll just share pen.
Right.
Shot
Okay.
number 1.
Cool.
We'll leave it there, and if you know, then...
Shot number 1. This player missed the cut at the 2024 Players' Championship.
Got it.
Shot number 1. This player missed the cut at the 2024 Players' Championship. Speed golf. Write your names, Marucci. Got it?
Oh my God, I've literally got it.
Yeah, you've nailed it straight out of the gate.
It's a very big dog, like I've just whacked it over the trees. It's just gone straight in.
I think you've min-wooed it into the water.
Probably.
Shot number 2. Everyone got anything?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep. Shot number 2. This player missed the cut at the 2017 Open Championship. And a fellow golf YouTube creator, Taco Golf, recently played in this player's 6-hole Ambrose Party Golf Tournament.
Oh, no, he didn't, because he didn't know.
This player missed the cut at the 2017 Open Championship. And fellow golf YouTube creator Taco Golf recently played in this player's 6-hole Ambrose Party Golf Tournament.
I mean, that's just stupid.
I didn't like that. There was a wink between them two. Didn't like it.
No.
Smells stinky.
This is the kind of person who watches everyone else's channels.
I watch every single channel on YouTube.
This absolutely stinks.
It stinks to
I
high
don't
heaven.
know. I think I don't know. I remember watching the video. Is that?
But the person wasn't in the video.
No, it wasn't. No.
So it was a tricky one. Shot number 3. This player missed the cut at the 2022 US Open. And he has 17 professional wins across 5 different tours. This player missed the cut at the 2022 US Open. And he has 17 professional wins across 5 different tours. There's a fold from Finch. Is that a refold from Broadbridge?
I've just gone...
I see
I've kept my name.
no reason to change my answer at this point.
Exactly, yeah.
Shot number 4, and this would be pretty impressive if you had birdied this par 5. Shot number 4, this player missed the cut at the 2019 PGA Championship. And he beat Tyrrell Hatton and Aaron Rai by 1 shot to win his first Rolex Series event in 2023. This player missed the cut at the 2019 PGA Championship. And he beat Tyrrell Hatton and Aaron Rai by 1 shot to win his first Rolex Series event in 2023.
Am I changing?
I think you should probably change because you haven't got it right. Peter Finch is panicking.
You know what? I'm really annoyed. I think I've got it. And what's really annoying is he was one of the first people I was going to write down.
This is your tap in for par shot number 5. This player was the European Tour Player of the Year in 2022, and he has just moved house. This player was the European Tour Player of the Year in 2022, and he has just moved house.
I think I've got a birdie, but I'm actually quite disappointed.
You're disappointed in yourself because you should have written it earlier.
Yeah, but he was the first person. I don't know why. He was just the first person that came to mind.
That's weird.
Yeah, damn.
Yeah, and that normally these are very topical. You know, there's no. I assumed you all thought I was going to do Minwoo Lee, or I was going to do Gary Woodland, or I was going to do, you know. So I've gone a little bit left field.
I'm scrambling.
Is it a struggle?
Yeah,
you're looking at your own stats.
I'm
You're like,
scrambling.
what shot would you hit here,
Yeah.
caddy?
It's good. I like the theme.
If you haven't got it now, you're going to be over par for this hole. Here is your bogey putt. This player finished T15 at this weekend's Texas Children's Open, and he isn't Eric Cole or Hayden Springer. Born to a rugby player father in Auckland, New Zealand, he is now a father of 2 himself. This player finished T15 at this weekend's Texas Children's Open, and he isn't Eric Cole or Hayden Springer. Born to a rugby player father in Auckland, New Zealand, he is now a father of 2 himself.
It's really annoying.
Yeah, it is.
Jacob,
Just going to keep it.
fold.
Yeah.
This is your double bogey, and you can't do any worse than this, so don't panic. Here we go. Today's player is long-hitting New Zealand legend, the 2009 Sloane Morpeth Trophy winner, Ryan Fox.
Yeah, birdie.
Birdie.
How'd you do?
No, I didn't get it.
You did.
No, really?
Yeah.
Oh, Jacob.
I have an issue with one of the question's wordings, but it's okay.
Go on. What was your question?
Saying that he was the European Player of the Year.
He wasn't. He was the European Tour Player of the Year.
Did you say that?
Yes.
I don't know.
European Tour Player of the Year. We can play it back.
We can play that.
I might have missed it. I'm sure you probably did.
I could be wrong.
You probably did, but
So annoying.
I thought you did.
I heard what I wanted to hear probably. So
Who did you have? You've thrown your sheet away before you've read out who you
honestly,
had.
I was scrambling. I really was scrambling.
I had some golfers.
Yeah. I had names down.
One of them was an animal.
Yeah.
Close enough.
I had just Tiger because I thought I'll follow both things. But
Well done.
Two birdies in a blob.
It's not bad.
It's fine.
It's a good
fine.
scramble.
Yeah, it's fine. It's a tough par 5.
Let us know how you did. It's a very hard one. Put it in the comments which clue you got it on. Well done. Or not well done.
Well done.
Jacob.
what was the event that he won over Ryan?
The BMW.
BMW.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fantastic last hole. Right, guys. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for watching, for wrapping your ears and your eyes around us once more on this Tuesday. Hopefully you've enjoyed this episode. If you have and you are watching on YouTube and you haven't subscribed already, then please do. If you're listening to this in your car, on the toilet, or on the bus, make sure you give us a 5-star review and follow us on your favorite podcast provider. Guys, thank you so much for everything else. I've just said that already, so bye.
Yep. Thanks, NordVPN, for sponsoring the episode as well. Bye, everyone.